Hello there and welcome to this video today where we are going to be looking at robotics, thinking about what robotics are, how they're used. So let's get cracking. First thing we're going to be doing today is your spelling tests as your starter, so make sure you put your name and your class on the front of your booklet. Make sure you've highlighted the learning outcome you're going for, and then let's get ready for this spelling test. So question number 1 is algorithm. Algorithm. I can problem solve using an algorithm. Number 2, I can create a logic circuit. 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 I can sort information. Sort. Sort. When I sort information, I want it to be effective. 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 If I'm going to use a lot of information, firstly, I need to process it. Process it. Process it. If I want to repeat something over and over, I will use a function. 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 If I want information to be added into a system, I'll be using input. 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 And number 8. If I need to decide something, I will use a decision. 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 When I'm making a decision, I'll be wanting to use a conditional. 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 And number 10. If I want to repeat something over and over, I will use a loop. 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 Make sure you've answered all 10 spellings, given them a go. If there's any that you've missed out, rewind the video, have a quick playback. And then we'll get the answers on the screen and then you can get marking them. So there are the different answers for how we are spelling different words there. Give yourself a tick or a cross for the words you got right. If you've got a word incorrect, please make sure you've written it out correctly again, somewhere either on the side of your booklet next to the word that you spelt incorrectly. And then we'll get cracking. So today we are looking at robots. I've stolen this definition of a robot straight off the internet. A robot is a machine, especially one programmable by a computer, capable of carrying out a complex series of actions automatically. Robots can be guided by an external control device, or the control may be embedded within. Robots may be constructed on the lines of human form, but most robots are machines designed to perform a task with no regard to their aesthetics. A couple of words to make sure we're happy with. Aesthetics, how they look, how they appear. If something is embedded from within, it means what's happening is inside. So I've got 3 different robots there as well that I've included. The top left one might look a little bit familiar. It's based on one of the movies from one of the robots from the movie I, Robot, which is a fantastic Will Smith movie. Make sure you go and watch it. We've got a nice little kiddie-friendly commercial one there. And then on the right-hand side, we've got a robo service dog, which can be programmed to do different tasks. And you've guessed it from how it looks and the name Robo Dog. It acts and moves around like a dog. So when we're using robots, they're doing complex things, doing things which are capable of doing repeated things. So for example, we could have a human being raking a crop. We could have a human being sorting out different coloured M&Ms. We could have a robot configured to set weights for different things. Or we could create a robot to do it. A robot is something that we can have a series of actions. It's done automatically, it's done repeatedly. So when thinking about robots, that's what we're thinking about. So we've got on the front of page 1, what are robots? Give the video a quick pause and have a go at answering that question. Up next, we are going to be looking at an author. And it's an amazing author called Asimov, and he basically wrote a series of science fiction books. He was a prolific sci-fi writer. He's absolutely amazing. And one of the things that he came up with was an idea, a concept of 3 laws of robotics. So this was written many years ago. And the 3 laws of robotics being: a robot may not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come into harm. So what this is saying is a robot will not allow a human being to get injured or a human being allowed to do them something for themselves which will result in them being injured. Law number 2, a robot must obey any orders given by the human beings except where the orders would conflict with the first law. So a robot's got to do what it's been told to do or programmed to do unless it'll break the first rule where a human being will get harmed. Law number 3, a robot must protect its own existence as long as such its protection does not conflict with the first or second law. So what this is saying, a robot must be able to protect itself, its existence, be able to protect what it does, how it operates, as long as it doesn't contradict, it doesn't conflict, it doesn't go against the first 2 laws. And this was groundbreaking thinking, this idea of thinking, right, okay then, these are robots, this is where they could potentially be going in the future. So what I want you to do with this section, we've got a little idea here of who Isaac Asimov is. We can see he's written some books. He's come up with 3 laws. What I want you to do for the task on page 2 is I want you to find out really who was Isaac Asimov. Give me some facts. Give me some information about him. Talk about the 3 laws. Talk about how he came up with the 3 laws. This is a bit of research. So you've got to go away. You've got to think about what you're going to be writing. You've only got that frame to fit in. That's all the room you've got to be working with. So have a pause of the video, do some web research, find out about Isaac Asimov, and then answer that question on page 2, who was Isaac Asimov? Okay, pause the video, get it done, and then we'll move on. So we can think about why robots are used instead of human beings. As much as it pains me to say it, human beings can be quite lazy. We're quite breakable. We're not constant as we're going through things. Robots are. If I say to someone, right, okay, then you've got to put 1,000 candlesticks in a coloured order, in a precise order, and you've got 10 minutes to do it in, a human being would be like, and you know what, I really can't be bothered with that. That doesn't sound like fun. Or, I can't do that, I won't be able to do that. There'll be loads of different things impacting that human being. Whereas the robot, if you program to do it in that time, in that order, the robot will do it. If we're thinking about precision, if I'm going to be making a new motherboard for a computer, a new piece of computer hardware, I need to be precise with what I'm doing. I'll be completely honest, I've not got the best hand-eye coordination in the world. I wouldn't be able to do that. If we were going to program a robot to go across a minefield in a very particular way, we could say, right, you need to go forward precisely 56 centimetres. You then need to turn precisely 72.3 degrees and walk another 15 centimetres. And then turn around 300 degrees and go forward 500 centimetres. We can program a robot to be that precise. So there's no chance of it hitting anything or it triggering anything. Can a human being do that? Not really. So that idea of detail, precision, is really, really important. Immunity to hazards. Humans are breakable, unfortunately, but robots can be designed to work in extreme heat or extreme cold. So if you think about the Voyager spacecraft, which are currently outside of the solar system, they are robots. They are working in freezing conditions consistently. They've been working from there since the 1970s. If we think about the extreme heat side of things, we've got space satellites which are going close towards the sun. We can send probes down onto the surface of volcanoes. A human wouldn't be able to do that. We can send unmanned submersibles to the bottom of the ocean, whereas if we sent a human down there, they'd get crushed. So robots are stronger, they're more resilient. If we think about the automation of simple tasks, we could quite easily say to someone, right, okay, then you're going to have 10,000 peppers come your way. You need to split them up into 3 piles: red peppers, yellow peppers, or green peppers. That's boring. If you like doing that sort of thing, I'm more than happy for you. But if someone said to me, right, there's 10,000 peppers, split them up into colours, I would probably go crazy. But with a robot, we can automate a really simple task like that, and we'll get it done incredibly quickly. Which brings me on to speed. Robots are fast. Robots can be programmed to be really, really fast. You could quite easily get a Lego Robotics kit and build a robot in it, program a robot in it, which will solve a Rubik's Cube quicker than a human would. It can solve it in less than a second. A human can't do it that quickly. So if you're thinking about things that rely on speed, robots are where you're going to, because they can do things quickly, reliably. They can do it in different environments. and their attention to detail is as fantastic as it is as you are programming it to. So what I want you to do on page 3, answer that simple question there. Why are robots being used instead of humans? And with that one, I know for page 2 I said you've only got that space. For that one, if you want to add more paper to the document, if you want to keep writing on it, be my guest. So give the video a pause and then we'll move on. Last main section we're looking at today, we're thinking about where robots are used, and I've just pulled off 5 different images there for where different robots are being used at different times. Top left image up here, we can quite clearly see we've got a series of robotic arms there working on and creating a car. If we think about looking at precision, automation, fantastic, because they can just keep going through and working through the conveyor belt of cars which are coming in front of them. On the right hand side there, we've got a Mars rover working in extremely inhospitable conditions, sending back information all the time to Earth. We can't send a human out to be doing that job. If we're looking at this middle image here on the left hand side, that is a robot which has been loaded up with cleaning spray. So instead of having council operatives going around and disinfecting everything with the current COVID-19 situation going on, we can program a robot to go around and clean all these spaces for us. It's quicker, it's more efficient, it's a simple task which can be automated. Happy days. Underneath that here, we've got robots which can be used for surgery. Now they can either be programmed or they can be controlled by a human being. If we're thinking about a large country like America, you might have the world's best heart surgeon in New York controlling an operation taking place in Los Angeles, the other side of the country, by using a robot, by programming it on one end, and it interacting on the other end. And on the right hand side here, we've got distribution warehouse, where I believe is Amazon. Again, massive automation of tasks. For example, yesterday I bought myself a new wireless dongle for my computer. It's just arrived just as I'm recording this video. So that automation of a product being found, being packaged, my address put onto it, putting it into a delivery system, it being delivered and being sent down from up north down to the south coast, then being delivered. Robots have come in, automation has come in to help out all these different elements. So on the back page, we've got a question here, where are robots used? Give it an answer. Again, if you want to add more, be my guest. Feel free to add more pages onto your booklet. Give the video a pause, and then we're going to answer that key question at the end. So today we've been looking at different uses of robots, different locations, different environments. We think about why they've been used. So the key question for today is, how are robots used? How are they used? Where are they used? When are they used? Expand on this as much as you want. Again, if you want to do extra work and you're not just stuck to that booklet, be my guest. Go to town on this. And I shall see you in another video. See you later.